Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. We're going to talk about 2022 because it's just around the corner. We got about a week to go, and I want to talk about several things that could happen in 2022. One thing is the Bitcoin flippening. Now, I still think 2022 is way too early for a Bitcoin flippening. I'm thinking more 2023 or 2024-ish. Remember, you can't really build much on Bitcoin. The stuff like metaverses, DeFi, and things like that, they're probably going to be built on other chains, most notably Ethereum. So because of these things, Ethereum is eventually going to flip Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin also doesn't have attractive features like yield farming and staking because it's proof of work, and it's really hard to actually have any kind of like on-chain staking when you have proof of work and you have a bunch of miners. I'm not really sure if you can actually have yield farming with the miners either. Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts, even though I've heard that ICP is supposed to give Bitcoin smart contracts. I'll kind of believe it when I actually see it. I think Bitcoin is only made to be a store of value, and while that is a pretty good use case, I think like once something flippens Bitcoin, maybe that other thing will take over Bitcoin's store of value right now. So at this point, like I do think that Bitcoin flippening is possible in 2022, and the weird thing is the higher Bitcoin goes, the more likely it's like to be flipped, because if Bitcoin rises, then other coins will rise much faster than Bitcoin. You know, at its height, Ethereum was more than half of what Bitcoin is. And now since Bitcoin's dipped to 50,000, it's less than half of what it is. Slightly less, but a little bit less, I believe. Is it? Oh yeah, it's like $3 billion less than half. So the higher Bitcoin goes, the more Ethereum and other cryptos can actually catch up. And ETH is the main threat here. The others are a little too far behind unless they have some kind of gigantic explosion. Remember, it's hard to build an ecosystem around Bitcoin itself because Bitcoin's so inflexible. You can't really do all that much with it except be a store of value. You can't really use it for massive amount of transactions without being centralized. Because the fees cost a lot and it's one of the least scalable chains out there. So those reasons it can actually be flipped in 2022. If it pumps really high, ETH might actually flip it. So that's one of the things that could happen, but I'd only give it like a 20% chance of happening because Bitcoin's still pretty far ahead and because a lot of the big funds still only invest in Bitcoin. The next thing is pretty much sure to happen, NFTs with DeFis, and it seems like it's already happened. This is a new look into gaming. As automation takes over more and more jobs, like having jobs in the metaverse to provide entertainment value will be more and more popular just because, real jobs are going to get harder and harder to come by. Remember, like we have kiosks basically replacing McDonald's workers. We have, basically mountaintop removal to get rid of most of the coal miners. And a lot of the manual labor jobs are going to be done by robots. Even entry-level like law jobs, which are just research on Google, can be done better by robots as well eventually. Anything that doesn't require too much critical thinking or is based completely on rote memory can actually be replaced by robots. So robots might replace your job a lot faster than immigrants for many, many people. And there's nothing you can really do to stop the robots because, companies are always wanting ways to actually save money. Therefore, they're going to build those robots as soon as possible. And robots don't have H-1B visa issues. So you're going to need a new profession. And I think people are going to look at games with NFTs and DeFis and things like that for a new way out of their economic dire situation. And NFTs with DeFis are the way to do it because you can get NFTs, you can stake them, you can yield farm them, and make a lot of money with them. I think several people are already doing this, at least partly doing this, with Axie Infinity in the Philippines. Of course, that amount of money is not enough for somewhere like the United States. But they're going to develop this thing, and DeFi is going to be huge. I do think DeFi can challenge the banking system, although it won't replace the banking system. I think the banking system will be a place where a lot of people just want to keep safe stores of money, whereas DeFi is going to be the place they put where they actually want to make more money. People always will want some security. So if their DeFi thing goes down, they still have a small nest egg. So they'll still put some money in banks, but they will actually deposit a lot of their money to actually work for them in DeFis. And if they can play a game and earn that money to basically double more money, more power to them. So NFTs with DeFi is definitely going to explode in 2022, I believe. So you should actually be early in on that because there's a lot of gains to be gained from NFTs with DeFis. The third thing I want to talk about is stablecoin domination. Yes. So they're honestly considering just using stablecoins instead of CBDCs in the United States. Now, their stablecoins are going to have to be backed or at least pegged to the USD. That could be very good for Terra Luna. Yes, because UST is the only decentralized stablecoin, but the government may not actually like that. They might want a currency that's backed by the USD to ensure US homogeny. Terra Luna is pegged to the USD, which is good for the US, but it is not backed by the USD. It's backed by some algorithms, so I'm not really sure how that will fare. I don't think it'll be banned or anything, but it might end up being USDT, or not USDT, USDC or Paxos Standard that's actually going to be used kind of for like almost like the American CBDC, except it'll be a stablecoin. There actually might be a global stablecoin for businesses just to make things more seamless, and it will probably be pegged to the US dollar. So I can actually see USDC being used for international business and trade to make things seamless. You really wouldn't need to trade remittance money at that point because you could just use USDC as the kind of like the overall solution for this stuff. And I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty easy for USDC because because they are issued by Circle, which is like affiliated with Goldman Sachs, to actually work with authorities to make that happen. And indeed, several people from the Fed and other offices have already mentioned this as a possibility because the network already exists and it's easy for the government to get their hands in on USDC as well. So stablecoins are going to be a lot more dominant. I think either way, it's going to be good for Terra Luna because they have a pretty big ecosystem around their stablecoin. And there's going to be many stablecoins floating around. If they're all pegged to $1, you can pretty much just straight swap one for the other. It'll be very easy for like straight transmittance. It'll make for very fast transactions, very fast money transfers, and it would be a whole new economic system. Banks might oppose it at first, but eventually they'll play the game as well, especially if the government supports it. So that's the third thing. And the fourth thing is a lot of these coins with partnerships will finally start to actually take off because I do believe that a lot of these partnerships that have come together in the years past, especially for things like VeChain and for like Cardano's DApp release, will finally actually start cranking up the motor and actually scaling. A lot of them have been in test pilots for a while, or they've been in small scale release for a while. And in 2022, I believe they will actually be released. Plus, you have a lot of the mainnets like Polkadot, like Cardano, and several of the others getting their act together and actually releasing some dApps. So 2022, I think, will be a year of massive growth. So that's what I have in store for 2022. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later.